Welcome back to Torque and Power. Appreciate you guys checking in. Today, as you guys saw from the title, we're going to talk about some beginner tips with touring with the Street Glide. It relates to every touring bike that Harley has out there. It certainly relates as well to any kind of touring that goes on. In honesty, this is like my third time trying to film this thing. The last time a lawnmower started, that was extremely annoying. I had an SD card error. Any of you guys who film stuff, that's like a nightmare when an SD card fails on you. But here we go, third time's the charm, right? So as you guys can tell, if you haven't been to this channel before, welcome first off. And if you haven't hit the subscribe and the like button, that'd be awesome if you would. But we've been changing up the garage. So before, I'll try to spin you guys slowly so you don't get dizzy, but before the garage used to look like that. All that little track stuff on the wall, wasn't a huge fan. Slowly been converting it. You can see there, it's kind of a mid-process there with the wood. And this is more kind of a finished product with the wood, and then you can see like the black diamond. So the V-Rod's got a little bit of artwork up for it, a little dealer promo thing that they had back in the day in 2009. If you guys don't know, that's a V-Rod muscle, what I have, and then there's a Fat Boy S and so on and so forth. But we're slowly adding on to it. You guys tell we got some helmets up over here too, did some helmet holders, slowly kind of making it that dream garage. Hopefully that handy table lift comes soon. It's supposed to be here, and then we can start actually getting down to the projects of putting the 128 kit in the Street Glide back here. So, but that's what today's about. It's about talking about touring and kind of my trial and errors with doing the touring game and getting into it. Geez, all the way back in what, 16, and this is an 18 when I bought the Street Glide Special. But what I've had to go through, so I figure, you know, paid forward a little bit on this. Get to kind of the basics and the must-haves that you need when you go touring, because it's not just about buying the bike. You think, oh, you spend the 25 grand or whatever it may be for the motorcycle and you're ready to go. No, 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 no. You have just started. You have to get other accessories and stuff like that if you want to make it fun to go touring. Certainly you can roll up a tent and throw it on the back and off you go. But for my style, and I think for a majority of the people, when it comes to these bikes, there's a lot more to touring than just the bike. So figure, why not cover it? If you're new to it, you got into Harley, you're thinking about going out and touring, you want to go to Sturgis next year, you want to go to Daytona, you want to do Tail the Dragon, all those awesome rides. This is a video that's going to help you get there a lot more comfortable and a lot safer, and you're gonna feel secure about it. So hopefully this helps anyone out there. Let's make it short and sweet and dirty so we can just be in and out, because like I said, this is my third time filming it. So I'm gonna set you guys down and then here we go. All right, so here we go. Let's get to it. So if you guys don't know, this is my 2018 Street Glide Special. It's a 115th anniversary. I've had this bike since new. And I started touring back in 2016. I would rent a Street Glide, and then I decided, okay, this is it, time to take the plunge. I absolutely love touring the US, and I need to have my own bike, and they came out with this, and that was it. I just had to have this bike. I absolutely loved it, and it's been great ever since. But let's talk about what you need. So you go out, you buy a Harley, and you got yourself a touring bike, right? And this stuff applies to basically all motorcycles, but specifically we're talking about the touring models. So whether it's a Road King, it's an Ultra, it's a Road Glide, it's a Street Glide, all that applies to this. Trike. So you went out and got this bike, and now you're like, okay, got it down. I want to go touring, but what else do I need? Well, I'm going to tell you, you're going to need more than just the bike, at least from my sense. When I initially got this bike, I tried to push it and go to Tail the Dragon and do a 5-6 day trip, and I thought I could just put everything into the bags. Oh man, was I wrong. Trying to shove everything into the bags, no go. I mean, I did it, I was able to accomplish it, but I had no rain gear. My leather jacket, I had nowhere to go if it got really hot. That was it. It was just all my stuff and like my wallet, my hat, and that was it. I was able to do it, but I certainly learned a lot. And I came back and I started buying up some stuff because I had Sturgis coming around the corner. And after that, it's just been a learning curve all the way through. So I figure, you know, why not? Like I said, pay this forward. Hopefully I can help out some people. You know, you're thinking about getting into touring. These are some of the essentials that you're going to need to do. Quickly, what I will say, just make sure every time you go out, whether it's you're going out on a big trip or small trip, make sure you check your maintenance stuff. You check the oil level, you check the transmission level, you check your tire pressure so the tires can do what they're supposed to do and they have the longevity and they don't get cupping. It's not a car. And I know, yeah, duh, it's obvious, but it's not like a car. You can just jump in and you can go and you can put thousands of miles and you don't have to check anything and you feel very secure. It's not the case on these things. You do have to check some nuts and some bolts and stuff like that to make sure every time it's fine. But the main guy is tire and oil and transmission fluid. I think that's key when it comes to it, for sure. So make sure you guys do that. That is definitely an essential. But if we got to it, okay, you're going to go on a big trip. I'm in Illinois, so this thing's never been a trailer queen. I've had this guy in Sturgis many times. It's been, like I said, the Tail of the Dragon. It's been to Washington, D.C. for Rolling Thunder. It's been to Daytona. It's been all over, and it's been great. So I love to put the miles on this bike. And because of that, there's some stuff that you have to think about. So some stuff that I would consider mandatory would be a tire kit, a tire plug kit, and I'll flash that up for you guys so you guys can see it. Real small, easy, fits in the saddlebag, no problem, barely takes up any space, and also an air compressor. So if you have a problem, you can plug the tire, you can air compress it so you can get the tire back up to where it needs to go, and you can go, whether you need to get to a dealership to replace it or whether you want to go and keep hitting the road. But it allows you to get up and get going. You don't want to be stuck. That's valuable, okay? So make sure that one's key. I see a lot of people don't do that. Toolkit, make sure you got a toolkit. Harley makes a great toolkit. I'll flash that up as well. It's got everything you need for all the torques, little stuff that gets loose, right? It gets loose. These bikes vibrate. They do, okay? Things happen with that stuff. You don't want to get stuck. So, I mean, I've seen it before where these bars get loose. The Loctite sometimes comes loose. I haven't had that problem, but I check that stuff because I know it. And eventually you'll know it too. Like, okay, you know, double check a few things when it comes to it. But the grips up here, I've seen those come loose. Harley sells this little toolkit. Whatever you may need, you can tighten it up. I've had my speakers come loose before a little bit. Real easy, tighten it up, boom. I'm on the road, I don't have to worry about it. Now I'm aware of it. And then when I get back, I can make sure everything is nice and secure and snug. But nice little toolkit. Harley makes it, it's awesome. I would say that's a necessity for sure. Also, what I got my little cheater sheet. If you guys haven't seen that, I got my little cheater sheet up here. And then make sure you guys check your battery. Obviously, that's a big key too. Without the battery, forget about it. You don't have a charge. I've seen stators go bad. That's the little alternator for the bike. That puts a wear on it. Make sure your battery is up to par. So when you got it home and it's parked and it's sitting for a while, make sure you got it on some kind of tender so it can keep the charge up to it, right? This thing's always sitting on a tender at some point. Actually, all the bikes are always sitting on a tender, but that's a must too, okay? All these little things, right? You gotta get out there and you gotta be aware of it. What else do I got for you guys? Okay, so that is as far as that goes of like, okay, maintenance wise, what you need to always be aware of. Now, I would say this is the next step is going to be what's going to make it more comfortable, okay? I think with that point, you can go out, you can ride. But now what's going to make it more comfortable that you can really put on the miles, it's going to be nice and you're going to love it, right? And it's going to take that touring to the next level. I got a lot of different accessories on this bike. I'm not going to cover all that stuff, the cosmetics. I'm going to say like what I feel, if I had to buy this bike again, that would be my first things that I would gravitate to and put on. All right, so windscreen. We'll just start from the front, work our way back. Windscreen. This guy is a small windscreen. This one's easy to go around the city and little rides because I do get a lot of wind. I like it. I enjoy it. I think it looks cool. This is a Harley one. But when I like to go on the big long rides where I'm doing well over 1,000 miles, I got a nice Werks one that's got a tint. And I like the tint. I'm 6'3", 240. So it gives you an idea. I got about a 12-inch tint windshield. I can see over it. It's great. It buffets me. The rain doesn't get me. I can hear my radio at speed. I can hear my Bluetooth in my helmet clearer. All that stuff is good. So windscreen, but really look into it. There's a lot of dealerships that you can test drive it. I really think that's a personal fit when it comes to it, that you have to go out and test drive it. So look in the windscreen. Seat, that's another thing that's a personal fit. Stock one's good. It can get you to where you need to be. But if you really want to be putting on some miles, get a nice seat. I've had all sorts of ones, the Road Zeppelin, the hammock seats. Those are all very comfortable. But I don't think it does the bike any justice as far as like looks wise. This is a 2018 CVO seat. I love it. Super comfortable, slim fit. I've had no problem. I took it out to Sturgis this past time. This seat is awesome. So I'm a huge fan of this seat. But look in the seats. Again, depending upon what your height is, you might need it farther back. You might need it farther up if you're a shorter rider for a reach seat. But a seat, I think that's important. So you could be putting on miles and you're feeling good. It's one thing you're doing it, but you want to feel good about what you're doing, right? So seat. Another one I would jump to would be these highway pegs down here. These adjustable highway pegs. I think those are a big deal too, because now you can kick your feet up, you can relax. Sure, you could be on the floorboards, you're comfortable, but you're gonna get antsy. So get those highway pegs, whichever ones you want to get highway pegs. It allows you to stretch out, feel better. Again, you can put more miles on. Big plus. If we bounce to a little bit maybe of safety and security, when I bought this one, it did not have the LED headlamp on the front. Now they come with the LEDs. So I changed all these out. So that one's got a day maker on the front from Harley, super bright, can see everything. The blinkers are custom dynamics, so they're like kind of like a mini little headlight when they're not being used as amber for turns. And in the back, I got the CVO LEDs as well, and I think that's important to be bright. You need to see where you're going, especially on a motorcycle, dark at night. You like doing back roads. It's motorcycles. I mean, you tend to do back roads. That's awesome. Moving to the back, you got these saddlebags. You think, okay, you're good to go. No, you're not. Small trips, you're good to go. Stuff like that. That's why when you guys see guys putting like the big speakers, is because they don't really get used when it comes to touring. What you need is a bag. So a big bag like this will last me for Sturgis, no problem at all. It also serves as a backrest for me. That's huge. And when you come back to the bag, you need this Sissy bar in order to hold the bag. So you can see how stuff starts to add up, right? So you got the bag, Sissy bar. In order to hold the Sissy bar, you got to have your docking system. So the docking system holds the Sissy bar holds the bag. In turn, gives me a backrest, which a backrest is just great. It's tough to live without it once you got it. If you have a passenger, you can flip this around and then you can put a luggage rack on the back, and then the bag goes on there and attaches to the bag, and then your passenger can be on there as well. So that's big. This bag is huge, because if you're going on a big trip, you're going to need something like this. It's great. It's secure. It's awesome. They have rain stuff for it as well to protect. That's great. Speaking of the rain stuff, another thing that's mandatory right up there with like your tire repair kit is a rain gear. You need to get yourself rain gear. It's big. You'll see people when you're going out Sturgis, they're sitting on an underpass, nothing against them. If that's what they want to do, that's cool. Some people aren't comfortable. Me, I got my rain gear on. I'm shooting right on through. Rain does not bother me at all. It's not a big deal. Rain gear to me is not intrusive at all either. Easy to put on. Sometimes I don't even realize I still have it on. If I see little clouds, it's going to come. It's on. I got the legs, I got the jacket top, I got it to cover the boots. Awesome. I'm nice and dry, I can continue my day. So easy to do, wraps up, goes right into the saddlebag. That's one of the things that you're going to be putting in that saddlebag for use. It's going to be the rain gear, maybe your leather coat, stuff like that. Helmet. If you're traveling, you're going to need a helmet. I'm sorry, there's a lot of states, they have helmet laws, and you're going to need it. It's a big deal. Whether you like a helmet, you don't like a helmet, that's fine, but some states have helmets. I prefer a helmet. I like it. I have my Bluetooth Sena in, so I can talk to my friends. It makes it extremely enjoyable when you got the Bluetooth in there. Time just flies by, and a helmet's just a good thing in my sense, right? Everyone's got their own opinion upon it. I like helmets, always have. That's a cool thing to have. Moving up, stuff that's like, okay, you want to be a little bit nicer on your journey, but it's not mandatory, because I certainly have lived without it when I first started touring. I got the taller bars because I'm a taller guy, so these are 12-inch ones from Factory 47. Certainly don't need to do it, but I wouldn't go back now that I have done it. I got the heated grips from Harley that I would not go back either. I love those. You just don't know when you're going to use it. I know all this stuff sounds like, I'm a little fancy boy with all my stuff that I like to have, but when you're putting on the miles, it's just nice when you can keep going. And everything you see here, no matter what it is, I've done myself. And I love Harley when it comes to that, to engineering. You can do it yourself. It isn't a problem. And I have not had an issue at all when it comes to that stuff. But we can go that stuff down farther in the videos of like what I have done and cosmetically and stuff like that. And obviously we're going to get to the engine later on for the 128 build down the road. But heated grips are awesome, and the bars are great as well. Awesome fit and finish when it comes to it all around. What else can I tell you about it? I got a little bit of my cheater sheet, like I said. Tire pressure gauge, make sure you guys got that. Kind of goes with the compressor. You want to know about that when you're on the road so you can check them. You never want to have an issue. The only other thing I would say that I have on my list here is going to be the suspension. Underneath this bag is a little suspension knob. Change out your suspension, not change it out, but adjust the suspension. I think Harley's suspension's great. Yes, there's better suspension, without a doubt. There's more comfortable for sure, but I think they do a good job. I don't have backaches, I don't get any kind of issues like that. You just take the bag off, there's a knob. Make sure you guys look in your owner's manual. Depending upon what your weight is, maybe you're 2 up, maybe you're 2 up plus luggage, you need to change the dial so you can up it, and the ride will be much more comfortable for you. And then make sure you dial it back down when it goes the other way. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's they like the clean and dirty when it comes to this stuff. There's certainly more stuff. I'm sure people have their opinions about what they love. But for me, that is it. So appreciate you guys checking in. Thanks. We're Torque and Power. We always love you guys here. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you guys can get more of this content. And we'll talk soon. All right. Later.